What is up, everyone? So in today's video I'm going to be putting a lift on my truck, but before we get into it I kind of had to explain myself a little bit. I got a 5100 kit with OME springs for the front and then a Deaver Add leaf for the rear. I ordered it from headstrongoffroad.com. I thought I needed an extended U-bolt kit to do the Add leaf in the rear. Turns out that is not the case. So I didn't get it done in this video. I'm gonna have to go back and do that this upcoming weekend. So this video is gonna be in a part 1 and part 2. But just so anyone else, has the same question, you don't need extended U-bolts for the Add leaf system. You do for the 3-leaf pack, but not for the Add leaf. So it's just a misunderstanding on my part. Obviously, Headstrong, they did everything right. I got all the right stuff in the package. They were great to work with. And Marie, who I reached out to try and get the extended U-bolts, was very polite and she helped me out. They were a great company to work with. So I would highly recommend going through them. Anyways, so we'll get into the video now. Okay, so today I'm getting an actual lift on my truck and I'm super excited about it. I've had a spacer lift on my truck the entire time I've had it, the rough country spacer lift, just a 2-inch puck in the front. And I've seen a lot of pictures of just obviously you're messing with the geometry of the suspension when you do it that way. It's not designed to have that extra 2 inches of space on the top, which is, it's not that big of a deal when you're just, on the street, but I'm doing more and more off-roading, and that puts a lot of stress on different components in the front suspension, specifically the lower mount of the shock on the lower control arm. And I've seen those things snap, which was a big fear of mine. So today I'm upgrading to an actual suspension lift. So I went with Bilstein 5100s front and rear. I got, these are the OME 2887 springs, so they should give me 2 inches of lift for the front. Another set of 5100s and then Deaver Add leaf system. It's gonna be 2 inches of lift, both front and rear. I think it's really important when you're thinking about upgrading your suspension to think about the future. I haul with my truck a lot, so whenever I haul with it right now, I'm always sagging really bad in the rear, which obviously the factory, there's a rake to avoid that. I got rid of the rake because I really like the look of level, but the more I use the truck, the more I'm like, that rake would actually be really nice to have again. Plus, eventually I'm gonna put a bed rack on there and a rooftop tent and do all these different mods to where there's gonna be some permanent weight back there. So I wanna start planning for that now as I do the suspension. So anyways, I'm gonna do the front first. I've done the front on these so many times, it can knock it out super quickly. So I'm gonna get those done and then we'll move on to the rear. stock one out with the spacer. I just wanted to do a kind of A/B comparison. You can say the tube, the reservoir for the shock is quite a bit beefier right here. You can tell that's wider than right here. It's gonna help for sure. This is the component down here that I see breaking, or that I've seen break. It doesn't seem to be hugely different. Maybe it's different material, a different way of assembly or something like that, but I know obviously the 5100s are built to take that a bit better. So yeah, let's put the Bilstein in now. All right, so I just finished up with the front. All done. Got the wheel on this side. I'll take another clip when it's on the ground. I think it might actually be a little bit lower than it was with the 2-inch leveling kit, but we'll see. All right, so this is where it's sitting with just the front on. I think you could tell the front's just slightly higher than the rear. Which is why I want to do the add a leaf. So I'm going to throw the rear shocks on real quick, and then we're going to wrap this up. Okay, so I got the rear shocks on now. I didn't do the add a leaf like I said, so I'm just about done. I need to lift the rear axle up and tighten the bottom bolts on each shock. They're supposed to be a load on them, be in the right position before you crank them down. So I'm gonna do that, put the tires on, and we'll be done for now. I didn't do the add a leaf like I said. So there's not going to be any lift in the rear of the truck, which kind of sucks. That was kind of my one complaint aesthetically, is that it sags a little bit in the rear. It's looking pretty good. I know this isn't possible, but it feels like the back is lifted just a little bit. I know it's not possible with just struts, but it looks good. All right, so that's where the truck sits now. I wasn't able to get the add a leaf in. I had a 2-inch add a leaf from Deaver. I ordered my stuff from Headstrong Off-Road, which they were great. I love the ordering process. It got here really quick. For the most part, everything was included that I asked for. The front struts were assembled, which was super cool. You had to pay a little bit extra for that, but it was so worth it. I didn't get extended U-bolts, which you need when you're gonna do a 2-inch add a leaf in the rear, so I wasn't able to get that done. So I have to call them, talk to them, figure out what happened there. As soon as I get those in, I'll get that done. But yeah, that's where it sits now. Pretty happy with it. From the little bit of driving that I've done, it actually feels a little bit smoother. It doesn't feel quite as harsh as it did with the stock suspension and the puck in the front. Feels good. So that was part 1 of my lift kit install. Part 2 will be the add a leaf. Hopefully that goes well. At that time, I will show you guys the final stance of the truck. Like I said, it's 2 inches up front, and then it's gonna be 2 inches in the rear. So it's gonna have that rake, but that's for future mods to prepare for the added weight that's gonna be back there. So if you like what you see, like and subscribe and comment and do all that. And I'll see you guys in the next one.